Hey, how's your day? My name is Renmei. Genshin dropped its Genshin dropped its 7.0 live stream program, and I made a separate video watching the trailer of it, and there are some things that I go over in that like reaction slash analysis, but um I don't know. I just felt like the pacing of the video just wasn't really it wasn't really up to my personal standard of of just how I would like to do a video in general. So today I'm just going to be reacting to the full. Well, where the fuck is the mouse? To the full VOD, because where the hell is the mouse? Right, because when I just reacted to the video, because during my initial reaction of like the VOD, like the screen just kept like glitching out, and I don't that is not like a quality issue that I wanted to deal with for like over an hour, because I do plan on this recording being over an hour. Along with having like minimal editing, so I'm going to try my best to be as careful with my words as possible. So, and also with how I reacted to the Candy Bug video, I know that any analysis I do, like it would have just like quintupled like the actual video time, but I do want to get this out as soon as I'm done as soon as I'm done recording it. So there's not really gonna be much pausing. So we're just gonna watch the full program without reacting much, without pausing much. All right, so I know I said that we weren't gonna be pausing much, but Traveler still has Pyro, so I'm guessing that they didn't go to the statue yet. Is this like the first time in Snezhnaya?
Where's Paimon? I need to find her fast.
So, trailers are very susceptible. Well, look, trailers tend to bait people a lot, right? So, I don't really think that the scene of Traveler walking through the snow and him asking where Paimon is are necessarily immediately connected. It could just be two completely different circumstances because, again, Genshin trailer bait us all the time. But, yeah, man, like Paimon was getting sick in some of the initial teasers for Snezhnaya, and the fact that they're separated again, like this is basically a reversal of Sumeru when Traveler went outside of the bounds of the samsara, the dream, and Paimon was really worried. Or most recently when Traveler was kidnapped by Dotoria and Paimon was like she had like a nervous breakdown. But now it's Paimon that's the one that's missing, which, seeing how Aether's gonna, I guess, carry himself during this time is gonna be really interesting. Is going to be really interesting. Snezhnaya looks beautiful. I think Snezhnaya is going to have like the least amount of overworld design complaints, because unlike Natlin, it is exactly like, just seeing the city, it almost looks like depictions of Santa's workshop in a way. Let me find out that the Tsaritsa is Teyvat's. I should probably turn on the closed captions. Let me find out that the Tsaritsa is Genshin's Santa Claus.
In our shared struggle will surely usher in a new and better world.
I am a god of a new world. Okay, that's unrelated. Oh, there's Odette.
Fate always appears so impossibly complicated, but in moments like this, its raw simplicity is laid bare.
Yeah.
Snezhnaya is always bitterly cold.
Then why do you guys wear miniskirts? Yep, and there's the new character.
Together.
I'm gonna be real. I don't. Okay, this kit looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Walls of the snowflakes.
I'm gonna say that I don't want to pull her, but like she's probably gonna have like the most banger character ever. And I'm guessing this is our free character. Hunt or starve. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. I asked this in my initial reaction, but like, what the hell is bro boxing here? It looks like a bear. It looks like if Ursaluna from Pokemon was like infused with Geo because of like the yellow and orange here, but I'm like, did they just add like Ben Vicker to Genshin Impact? Though it does look like that we're gonna get more like, I guess, anthropomorphic humanoid entities in Snezhnaya, which I don't know. That's something really cool to look forward to.
Prey spotted.
Up, and
It's dog eat dog.
dog eat dog.
It's called the Shadow Realm.
Okay, now this. This looks cool. So, the Shadow Realm, no light shines, and no elemental energy flows, even time itself. In my initial recording, I kind of speculated that this is sort of like the Abyssal Realm. I mean, like look at the color scheme here. Like the blues and like dark purples and stuff. Like it's very Abyss in nature. And I'm not necessarily a Genshin lore theorist specialist necessarily to really know this, but I do think that there is like a separate. I do. Maybe there could be another realm separate from the light and human realm, and this is just like the abyssal realm. Like the light realm is just pure elemental energy. The human realm is like, you know, stuff with like the inhabitants in it, and like there is elemental energy, but it's very diluted enough. Because of phlogiston, it's very diluted enough to where people can safely interact with it. And now there's like the Shadow Realm where there's no elemental energy and it's completely corrupted. I almost speculated that this could be like sort of like a bank of where the abyssal energy, okay, of where the abyssal energy in Teyvat is, right? Because Snezhnaya is right above Natlin, and Natlin, like, judging by like the craftable weapon material, Natlin is like the borderlands, and like the reason why Natlin's abyssal evasion was so intense was because like as the borderlands they were like closer to the world border, and because of that like their abyssal threat was more like dire. And assuming that Snezhnaya, because of like the placement of Nockrite, is right above them, then Snezhnaya might be located where an entire realm of like abyssal energy is. But seeing that there are like Fatui contraptions here, it's probably a bit more complex than that.
Itself doesn't exist here.
Also, FPS shooter Traveler is just like crazy. So maybe it's just like a parallel thing. Also, this looks crazy beautiful. Okay. This looks intense. Okay, I said this in my initial reaction, but like, come on now. Like, people said that Natlin was immersion breaking, but I don't know. My fantasy character pulling up to an elemental being with a cryo AK-47, Saritsa Mac 11 or whatever, is like, is this even Genshin anymore? Like I asked myself that like when I was in Fontaine, just seeing like the sleek combat robots. But like this is one of those images where it's like, okay, this is like now this is a completely different game. What is that train though?
Paimon, please be okay.
True consistency exists only in
Paimon's getting
principle.
sick.
In the real world, fairness is relative.
So you have no intention of finding a solution to this problem?
Yeah, so Child and Pantalone are having a debate. I do wonder,
Accordance with the result of this vote.
it seems like that there's like a problem with Problem Stuja. Oh my god, it's Vesna. It does seem like that there's like a problem. Oh, one of the bear people is just a common citizen. That's cool. It does seem like that Project Stuzia is like having some kind of effect on the people. And like, is that Tuesday? Okay. And I guess Child, you know, being one of the more, I guess being one of the more altruistic of the harbingers, like when you really know him, is probably going to have like some objections to it. Like he's probably gonna try holding some of like the harbingers like Pantalone accountable, saying, "Oh, so you don't actually want to resolve the issue that's going on." But then again, details of Project Suja are a bit like unfamiliar to me, so like I don't fully understand it. I do want to pull for Vesna, so I really hope that she's not released early. I do hope that she's not really super early into the patch, but you know, she's probably going to be. Also, the maid character. A lot of people gave this maid character some shit because of like her short skirt and cold environment and just like the design inspiration, but just like you just gotta appreciate like the details going on here. Like even if it's not to your even if it's not exactly what you wanted, like come on, like you have to at least try to appreciate it.
Civilization is nothing but an illusion. Something whose very existence can be negated at any moment.
The storm might have destroyed all of Snezhnaya
Some Fatui
by
technology.
now. Maybe even the whole world.
A civilization that fails to learn its lesson.
Okay, here's
constantly
Renova.
defeats its own worth.
Constantly.
It will one day lose any reason for its existence.
All right, so that's Renova talking. So, a civilization that fails to learn its lesson will like lose its worth to exist and like will lose any reason for its existence. And it's easy to say that this was probably the same line of logic she had like before she did what she did to like the Conrians, right? I think it's more of like a fact that Renova was just like looking out for like the bigger picture, right? Because the actions of the five sinners, it was just 5 people, and yet the entire nation got indicted because of that. So I do feel like it's more of a matter of just like seeing the bigger picture. It's like, okay, if 5 people from this specific nation can do this much damage to the entire world, then for the sake of few, like for the sake of the entire world, like this whole nation needs to get like expedited, right? And Piero, being someone from that nation, finding the Fatui and wanting to rebuke against the heavens, would sort of like reinstate that sort of mindset. It's like, okay, like this place, like while having like a few outliers, caused a massive problem, and like now like one of those loose threads from that place is trying to cause problems for us again. So it's sort of proving our point that like the whole nation like needed to get like not necessarily point, but just sort of the necessity of the whole nation needing to get like gone, needing to get going, for the safety of Teyvat. And travelers like looking on to this craziness.
Ruler of death, what do you want?
Dang. Her 3D model looks so good. I really want her to be playable. And like her skin type bodysuit is one of like the hottest things I've ever seen before. Oh my god.
Might have passed for a coincidence the first time.
Is it weird that I ship her with Serena from the Pokemon X and Y games? Don't ask me why. I'm just like mentally ill like that, but yeah.
But a second time? Am I to assume you are intentionally interfering in Snezhnaya's affairs?
There will be a next time.
Okay. I just want to like pay attention to
Interfering
this.
in Snezhnaya's affairs.
Interfering in Snezhnaya's affairs. Because he's a descender? Why would Renova care about Snezhnaya's affairs unless like it would damage the world, right? Because Snezhnaya, like as a nation, is in solidarity to oppose the rule of the world. So I am curious as to like why it would seem from the trailer at least that she's indicting the traveler for like, well, not okay. I don't really know what the word indicting means, but like asking if the traveler's like, what are you doing in this nation? Because like the traveler's been like messing with like affairs like all throughout, say that, for like 7, well technically like well, technically, like, 6 nations in an autonomous region, like, for the past, like, almost damn near 6 years now. So for it to be, like, called to attention now, it definitely disproves that, like, I don't know, that I guess his arrival was somewhat, like, approved by the heavenly principles, right? Because I have seen theories saying, like, oh, if you were to go off, like, the path, then, like, oh, the shades would just, like, you know, course correct and, like, force them back on it. Like, I have seen that fan interpretation, like, thrown around here and there, but it shows that no. And also, someone on Twitter pointed this out, but, like, he's using Electro, but, like, there's, like, cryo effects of, like, the snowflakes, like, freezing over, like, it's electro energy, but, like, it's freezing over, like,
I do
everything
assume you're
around him,
intentionally interfering in
like he's,
Snezhnaya's
like,
affairs.
fusing elements together, right? Because superconduct, I think, is a transformative reaction, so it's, like, here, he's actually just, like, I think he's channeling the reaction itself. And also, him throwing hands with Renova is crazy.
Each morning here, for every one of us, there's the chance that we might not wake up. We act
Dang.
only for the greater good.
Dang.
And so
What the hell did she try to do?
that we might not wake up. We act only for the
The last time that this happened, this was at the very beginning of the game. And she's frowning, too. Last time that this happened, this was at the very beginning of, like, the game. So, this is, like, very bold. As, like, the Traveler's shining here. As, like, she knows that he's a Descender, and she knows that it's probably not gonna entirely work because of, like, his Descender status. It's like, you know, he can't really, like, whatever this blast here would have done to a normal person, like, it's probably not gonna happen to the Traveler, like, with Dottore trying to freeze time. So, and, like, dang, that's his new weapon, like, right there. It's crazy.
of our nation. May the aurora shine ever on, and the tundra always stand firm.
Also, Traveler actually bypassing the shield. And Traveler actually landing, like, a clean hit on them. Which is crazy. Because, like, oh, dang, are her eyelashes, like, a part of her... Her eyelashes are, like, a part of, like, her eyelids. Or that's what it looks like. I mean, like, eyelashes usually are, but, like, the way it is here, it's like... it seems uncanny. But Traveler actually landing a hit on Renova when he couldn't even land a hit on, like, Asmodee at the beginning of the game is such crazy development. Because, like, Traveler with all of his powers at the beginning of the game completely no diffed by Asmodee. And he's probably going to get, like, the Traveler's probably going to get no diffed here, but to land, like, a clean scratch on them, like, even with some of the restrictions placed on them, like, lifted, that's actually huge. Unless Asmodee is just stronger than Renova, it's safe to say that, like, once Traveler gets his full powers back, like the rematch against Asmodee is not even going to be close. Your obsession
Your obsession with it baffles me.
with Paimon?
When the day of reckoning arrives, not even a Descender can hope to escape unscathed.
Dang. You're upset. So, I'm guessing that, like, Renova's doing something that's having an effect on the people, and by extension, Paimon. And, like, her, I guess, belittling Paimon's existence, saying, oh, your obsession with it baffles me, like, as if it's, like, some insignificant creature that Traveler should not be this focused on. I don't know. I think it paints, like, a steady picture, okay, that, like, okay, this is a enemy that Traveler is, like, willing to fight. And also, I have a theory that, if Traveler doesn't, like, pull some crazy nonsense where he, like, you know, in, like, a massive burst of speed, he stops the blast the last moment. I do think it might be the Tsaritsa instead, and because she saved Paimon, like the traveler will be indebted to her. The traveler will be indebted to her, and then like because of that, he'll join the Fatui because like okay, the Tsaritsa did something to save, like their most dearest companion.
The time for us to meet again will come very soon.
Or maybe it might be Piero. I don't know.
Our goal is the heavenly principles.
Yeah, our goal. Yeah. So maybe something. Yeah. So maybe something will happen that'll like, okay, make it clear to the traveler like, okay, maybe working with you guys is not that bad after all. Ever winter without mercy. Dang. That was a long analysis, by the way. And that was only like 4 minutes of like the whole live stream. I feel welcomed. Akura.
虽然我们不是第一次来到这个前瞻现场了，但是今
那
天这一次啊，我们还是感到特别的激动。
是啊，毕竟今天我们要给旅行者
they're
们
playing
介
just
绍
with
的
the
内容，
Gnosis.
就是大家期待了很久的至东。
Snezhnaya,
在经
eagerly
历了
looking
整
forward
整
to
6年的旅途之后
6
旅行者们的
years.
脚步啊，终于要踏上这片覆盖着永恒冻土的国度了。
没错，那我想各位旅行者啊，应该和我们一样都很期待。那我在社区呢，也看到了很多大家对于至东剧情的猜想，以及对于过去各种伏笔的热烈讨论。
我也看到了，我们的旅行者们啊，都卧虎藏龙啊。
对，我还看到有的旅行者说啊，这里的神明有没有可能是冰元素的？
哎，这个倒是无法反驳。
That's
我还
hard to
看到
argue
大家
with.
做的至东大料的梗图，还挺有创意的。
Pretty
不过话
creative.
说回来啊，我觉得今天我们要给旅行者们带来的大料肯定还是不少的。
Will not
至东啊
disappoint.
是原神项目组筹备了非常久的国家。
是的
Yeah.
在过去大家对至东的印象可能是愚人众的大本营，是冒险家协会的总部，是我们的伙伴公子达达利亚的故乡。不过啊，在我们的构想中，至东远不止刚才所提及的部分。
Yeah.
如果要用一句话来简要介绍它，我想至东是一个超越规则与命运抗争的国度。
超越规则啊，很有意思的
Transcends
一个
the
词。
rules.
那最近在
Yeah, and you know, which would make a pretty good last destination for the traveler because you know they're the star that transcends destiny. So, I think the traveler's role in this, like the role in like Project Tuja or whatever the Fatui is planning, along with just like how the Fatui can just like help him out, are like really relevant to one another. Transcendence trailer recently. I don't know why the hell the audio is not playing.
出现了这句话。那这句话还让我想起来
It also
我们
reminds
很早以
me
前发布的足迹 PV，
In the
当中有一
Trevel
句说
too long
人
ago.
们相信女皇终有一日能对天理举起叛旗。
可见这里的故
And that
事
she
啊
had no
充
love
满了
left
对
for
抗与
people.
冲突。至东的主线基调注定不会平凡。
没错，在至东啊，我们要开始直面4大执政的力量了。
Four
说到这
great
个
rulers.
刚才的版
Okay.
本 PV 里面啊，我看
That's
若娜
wild.
他似乎想要伤害派蒙。
哎，到底
Yeah,
是发生了什
for
么
some
样的事情
reason.
呢？至东的篇章啊，不仅牵动着整个提瓦特，也牵动着包括我自己在内的每一位旅
The
行者
very
的
heart
心。
of every traveler,
各
including
位旅
myself.
行者从旅途之初就隐约感知到的关于提瓦特更深层的秘密，或许
Vaguely
就将在至东找到真相。
Okay.
那话不多说，我们就在今天的前瞻节目里，把大家所期待的7.0版本的所有信息逐一端上来。
旅行者们敬请期待哦。
Version 7.0. Okay, Everwinter, I don't need to. I don't need to wait through this. I already used the code as well, so I don't have any thoughts to give. Also, Vodnyashta, or whatever her name's called, looks so stunning here. Also, Pantalon having like the main focus on the thing is
欢迎回
crazy.
来哦。
哎，小乐好，我之前看
It makes me think that Pantalone's like role in like the Archon quest might be, I mean, because he was essentially Pantalone in one of the recent Archon quests was essentially Dotori's butt buddy. So
那有一位旅行者说啊，马上要去至东了，他现在的心情激动到简直有点难以相信啊，这一天真的来了。
that's
不
an
过他现在还
exaggeratory
不太清
statement,
楚啊
but
究竟
you
要
know
怎
what I
么样
mean.
才能踏上这片传说中的土地。
In this
这位
land
旅
of
行者也不用担心啊，大家应该还记得，多托雷把自己的研究所造在了罗德卡莱与至东本土的必经之路上。那从这个研究所向东北方向出发，各位旅行者就可以来到至东本土的边境了。
Ooh,
而
yeah.
些还没来得及探索诺德卡莱的旅行者也不用担心，
Dang,
在
the moments
限灵
before
版本
Not
更新
Cry.
后，借助地图上自动解锁的传送锚点，大家也可以
Oh,
快速
yeah.
地来到至东本土探索了。
那这抵达的方式
I think I'd rather just like walk there on my own, just for like the immersion's
知道了
sake.
不过还有一些旅行者，他们对于至东这个国家究竟是什么样子的，也感到很好奇。要不小罗浩，你先给大家介绍介绍。
没问题。至东啊，它和我们之前去过的任何一个国度都截然不同。这个国家除了有极寒的天气，还带着一身的反骨
啊，反骨
Rebellious
吗？
spirit.
没错，立项之初，在原神 IP
Yeah,
团
the
队的
project
构思中，至东就是一个敢于向天空举起叛旗的国家，而
Mm.
抗争命运和超越规则，可以说是深深地刻在了这个国家的血肉
Or
里。
deeply etched
啊，
in
那
the
看起
ideals
来
of
想要
the
了
age.
解至东啊，还绕不开这里的悠久历史。
So, what's Snezhnaya the nation of? The nation of transcendence. I mean, most people theorize that it's the nation of love, but I mean, given the fact that the Tsaritsa says, "Oh, death is not the enemy of love," I don't really think.
故事啊，还是要从古老的
I don't
至
know.
东
I'm
讲
being
起。
superficial
那
about
时
it.
的至东并非终年严寒，曾经它也拥有过绿叶繁茂的盛夏，但这片土地最终化作了永久的冻土与荒原，变得几乎不再适合人类生存。
Inhabitable for
面对这样的
humanity.
绝境，
face
至
the
东的
dire
人民
straits,
没有
people
向命运低头，
never
在
bowed
这片
before
被
the
遗弃的
fate
土地上，
on this
初代冰
forsaken
城白
land.
沙皇立下了宏愿，他要
Oh.
建立一个不依赖于天理也能独立存续的国度。
啊，放在提瓦特啊，
Cool.
这应该是一个非常
Okay.
宏伟的理想了。但是在这种情况下，最要紧的还是得先解决如何生存的问题。
Was simply to figure out how to
想要
survive.
与天理抗争，那我们先得去对抗这些极端的自然环境。
没错，面
Hold on. There is something I need to attend to. Sorry about that. That was just some family stuff. Okay, so the Belazar wanted to make the land more inhabitable for everyone and make it so that it could sustain by itself.
对足以吞
Face
噬
a
一切
sheer cold
严
that
寒
could swallow
至东人的回
everything.
答
The
可以说是
Snezhnayan
悲
answers
壮和
both
浪漫的。
heroic
白
and
沙皇利用一
romantic.
种名为
The
克什
Belisar
尼克
harnessed
金矿的
energy
能源
source from something known as Krezhnik. Oh, this must be where the Krezhnik torch was
在冰
made.
原下建了一
The
座巨大的
Krezhnik's
克什尼克之
torch.
巨
Okay,
硬
okay.
生生的在命运的冻土
Bringing a solidarity to the wasteland. And okay, so that's how Krezhnik's torch was made. Okay, so they harnessed a material known as Krezhnik something and invented like the heat source that makes the land inhabitable for humans, which is why some of the characters dress the way they do. Because not all characters, I'm guessing, really like leave the city. So, you have some characters, wearing dresses, but then you have like Alyosha, I almost said Aloy. Alyosha, like, fully, like, covered up for the cold, probably because, he hunts and stuff, like, outside the city.
上烧出了一个允许生命喘息、
Could
允许
breathe
文明
life.
扎根的
A
庇护所。
civilization
啊，那
could
我想啊，在这个
take
庇护所
root
之外，
inside the
出行
shelter.
应该也是举步维艰的
Getting
吧。
around must
至
be
东
quite
幅员
struggling.
辽阔，再加上极端的低
Snezhnaya's
温，
fast combined
小
with
孩上
extreme
在蒙
traveler sliding
德一样自由自在的出行，几乎是不可能的。
is
没
almost
错
impossible.
所以另外一种浪漫的工业产物
Another romantic industrial.
应运而生了。
啊，我知道。
Oh, the monorail.
旅行者们其实见过哦，这就是在至东的宣传片当中出现多次的雪国列车。
Cool.
对，轰鸣的列车将一个个城镇彼此相
Running
连，
trains
也
connect
由
the
此
towns
构成了这里独一无二的人文魅力。
unique.
大家可以搭乘列车去往海蟹镇，
啊，
没错，就是我们公子达达利亚的老家。
没错。
在那里可以
Are we
欣赏
finally
到
gonna see
美丽的
child
时光
siblings here?
当然，大家也可以通过列车轻松来到至东堡，
Snezhnaya
去
third
北国
by
银行的总
train.
行办理业务。
哎，听起
Oh,
来
the
这个
Northern
至东堡
Bank.
应该是一个非常热闹的地方啊，就像蒙德城、像纳夏镇一样。那在这里，你可以观察到人们
They're
平
making
时
a lot of
怎么生活
parallels
的
to
比如
Mondstadt.
说，当地的人呢喜欢吃熏肠，
Ooh. More non-human entities.
喝口水。孩子们
More
喜欢
more
喝雪人打
non-human
雪仗。虽然至东的
citizens
天气不讲道理，但是至东的人会教他什么是道理。至东人啊，
will never
自己
give
把
in.
生活过出了热
Snezhnaya's
气腾腾的感觉。
have created a vibrant warmth
至东
energy.
堡也是至东的城市中
Aw, dang.
心，在这里大家可以领
Here you can experience the city's vibrant
略
atmosphere
到
and the
都市的
pinnacle
繁
of
华和
artistic
艺术的巅
achievements.
峰，很推荐呀，大家去克洛列夫茨基剧院。
I highly recommend everyone visit the... Wow. So Snezhnaya is like nothing. So Snezhnaya so far seems like nothing that anyone suspected it. Like, I was expecting something a bit more, like, oppressive. But everything seems pretty cultural and free, at least amongst the people.
里面有一座名为军械宫的兵工厂，
The
它是我
armory
们的老朋
place.
友，也是鱼人众的执行官木偶在管理。这
Marionette.
里会源源
That's
不断的
impressive.
为鱼人众生产各种装备，许多重要的研究工作也会在这里进行。除此之外，
Research
这里有
project.
一支由风仙组成的军队，也就是东契兵
Villas.。
他们纪律严明，是守卫现任兵神冰之
They're the
女皇的
elites
精英。
who guard
我
the
们不难
current.
看出，志
Okay.
东自身啊
Okay.
确实具备很强的军事实力。
自然，
那其实除了志东自有的这些力量啊，还有一些外来的力量也在影响着这个国家。
Influence
没
First
错，
Nations.
在很
That's
久以
right.
前，
Long
古
time
老的
ago.
之中有一位来自世界之外的意外访客，也就是我们所说的第三角
Ooh,
者。
okay.
他
The
来到
third
了这
descent.
片土地上，也为之东带来了新的
He
力
brought
量，
a new power to
这是一种
Snezhnaya.
超越提瓦特规则的力量。
This is a power that surmounts the rules of Teyvat.
能将提瓦特原本的
It
元
can
素交互
transform
规则
Teyvat's original elemental rules into entirely new
变化为
reaction
全新的
rules.
反应规则。相信有的旅行者已经
Some travelers have already experienced
在月
this
之八版
in
本
the
体验
recent
过其
Luna
中的一种
version.
反应新超导了。
Stellar
而在限
Conduct.
灵版本，我们
And in
将会
version
迎来第二
7,
种反
we'll
应
introduce
新
a
扩
second
散。
reaction.
这些反应
Stellar
被统称为
Swirl.
星烁反应。
Ooh.
当旅行者与志东的七天神像交互之后，
Okay.
也能掌握这种古老的
Resonate with
去指定元
Cryo.
素进行战
With
斗。
Cryo.
那身为同样具有降临者位格的旅行者啊，在掌
And Traveler can stellar conduct all on his own.
握这种冰元素力量之后，只要旅行者在队伍当中
Travelers in the
就能够触发
party.
所有的新说反
All
应。
stellar glitter reactions can be triggered.
那我们就先说队伍当中位格的旅行者啊，在掌握这种冰元素力量之后，那身为同样具有降临者位格的旅行者啊，在掌握这种冰元素力量之后，只要旅行者在队伍当中就能够触发所有的
All stellar glimmer reactions can be triggered. All stellar glimmer. Okay, so just not exclusively stellar swirl or stellar conduct. Dude, bro is basically like Cryo Columbina now. I don't know. At first, I didn't really like the idea of Traveler. I didn't really like the idea of, like, Traveler having access to stellar reactions because, well, they didn't give him access to, like, lunar reactions, right? So I kind of just accepted the idea that the Traveler's, like, kit would just be, like, very vanilla and just, like, very, like, bound and like very basic, right? Because I do want to use Cryo Traveler like for melting, but like and I still theoretically could, but it seems like that his kit does not really support that, or at least not yet. If they had like a stellar melt sometime down the line. But this is like very cool though, and very convenient.
说反应了。
But you know what? Sandrona is still probably going to be the main choice for stellar conduct. Can trigger stellar conduct into contact with Electro. And broke its infusion. Polar Star Field.
在这个领域内，角色造成的新超导反应伤害以及冰、雷元素伤害都将获得提升。此外，还将降低敌人的物理抗性。
Decrease
而
physical
在支持
resistance.
触发新扩散反应的队伍当中，当风元素触及冰元素时，则会引发特殊的
And
新扩
Traveler
散
works
反应
off field.
造成风元素伤害，并创造
Dang, Mizuki actually being meta relevant. Mizuki is one of my favorite Inazuma characters. It creates a stellar vortex.
风旋在一段时间后
Vortex
会
will
爆
explode
发，造
after
成
a
冰元
period
素
of
伤害。
time, dealing
如果
cryo
在此期间
damage.
多次触发新扩散反应，
Triggers
还会提
multiple
升风
times.
旋的等
It will
级，
increase the
在爆发时
vortex,
造成
dealing
更
greater
高的伤
damage
害
when。it bursts.
看来啊，温柔的风
Okay.
在遇到猛烈的冰之后，就变成了凛冽的寒
Okay,
风啊。
biting
没
and
错
frigid.
其实，在至东啊，元素反应不仅能够应用在战斗当中，
Will not be
在战场
applied
之
in
外也会
combat.
为
They can all. Wait, hold on. What?
至东啊
Also
元素反应
Snezhnaya.
不仅
Okay. Elemental reactions cannot only be applied in combat. Okay. They can also aid the travelers outside of battle. Oh no.
比如刚才提到的新扩散反应，
Stellar
会
Swirl.
让角色的
Oh.
能力大幅得到提升。
Oh.
而新超导反应则可以和大世界更多的内容进行特殊的交互。
Oh, so kind of
并且
like
有很多的
okay.
生物还有敌人 也会对
Okay.
线索反应有所响应。
Sour
我
glimmer
们希望旅
reactions.
行者都能在至东的冒险当中，通过这些特殊的交互和反馈，收获
Okay.
到更多的乐趣。
是的，
Okay, so far this is seeming like it does seem slightly tedious, but this is honestly way better than lunar reactions, right? Because you get older characters, 4-star characters that seemingly support the reaction, along with a free 5-star, being the traveler, that can like trigger these reactions, right? So now, like this is already like significantly better than lunar reactions, because when I saw the speculation of stellar reactions, I was admittedly really fucking mad at it, because at that point I was just like done with the whole reaction meta stuff, and I just wanted to go back to like the vanilla game, right? But I also realized that if they did that, then like, you know, some power creep might like come out of it, because of just like, you know, new DPS needing to, you know, outshine older DPSs, and like higher enemy numbers and blah blah blah. So like I don't know. I was just ready for things to just like go back to normal, and sometimes they do, but you know, I still get haunted by the whole lunar lunar shit, and just like, you know, the overly boss specific enemies. Like, I understand that this being a game where you have to like use elemental reactions, and like you're encouraged to do that, it is very restrictive to people that
而且
don't
旅
pull
行
for
者
every
不仅能
character
在
like
至
I
东解
do.
锁新的力量，
Traveler will not only unlock new powers in
在
Snezhnaya,
1.0版本的魔神任务中，还将获得一把
Ooh.
风格独特的
they will obtain a new unique weapon.
在至东的探索过程当中，
Ooh, and they can upgrade that
旅行者
weapon.
这把武器的力量都会
Traveler journeyed far into foreign lands for a slim chance of redemption.
大家也将逐渐了解到武器背后的故事。
Uncover stories behind the
是和秘密
weapon.
哦
Third
刚才聊了这
Descender
么多东西
lore.
啊，那接下来我们是不是该聊一聊这个国家
We talk about the crucial archon of this
至
quest.
关重要的神明
Crucial
天之女皇
archon
了
of the
我
Saritsa.
们的旅行者呀，应该在蒙德冒险的时候就听到过
对
这个名字了。关于女皇啊，我相信大家可能
I
都有一肚
believe
子的问题想要问。
对，
They like to ask. Dude, we're getting like third Descender lore. I really hope that this is the patch. I really hope that either this patch or Conria, that, I don't know, Traveler will be able to. I hope that this is the patch where Traveler can like freely switch elements. Like they have more of their restrictions. They have more of their restrictions lifted off of them, and they can actually like use more than one element in battle. But the thing is, some of the kits may need to be optimized for that kind of play style. And maybe like when Conria comes back, they can actually like use their original. Maybe like in the Conria patches, they can use their original power, and like maybe right, because the third Descender introduced like a new reaction system. So why can't the Traveler? You know. So maybe when they get their original power, they can somehow assimilate that into like the reaction system, right? And you know, we could get stuff like, I don't know, light pyro, or like, I don't know, something to do with like light power, or like, I don't know, something like that. I don't know.
而且在之前啊，大家知道
And
愚人
before
众的执行官
we know the
对他的
Fatui
印象可以说
Harbingers
是各不相
have
同。
quite the different
比如
impressions
说
of
达达利
her.
亚，觉得她温柔又冷酷；阿蕾奇诺呢，则从她身上感受到了慈爱，而桑多涅却说她彻底冻结了情感。那么女皇究
Okay.
竟是一个什么样的人呢？为什么会有那么多的能人志士都愿意追随并且效忠于她？啊，还有啊，女皇的计划到底是什么？我们大家一直说的消失的火神之心，它又在哪里？那女皇会不会还跟其余的6神有其他联系呢？
等一下，这个
Okay.
这个问题有点多，我
Wait, what did he
有其
say?
他联系呢？
等
Have connections to the other 6 archons? Well,
这个问题有点多，我们慢慢
Those
来
are
啊。
没错，
Alright,
确实有点
alright.
太急了。那我们就先给大家简单的
the
去介绍一
Saritsa
下女皇
herself.
本人吧。
Okay.
好的，冰之女皇安娜斯塔夏·贝尔
冰
多
淇淋
罗夫娜
OK
雪奈茨纳亚，她给人的第一印象就如同至东的气候，威严而凛冽。而作为至东的第2任冰神，他试图创造一个更加理想的世
So let's create a
界
more，ideal
同时
world,
也是为了保证
Zekrom
至东不会成为下一个卡瑞亚、下一个海珀波瑞亚。
说到坎瑞亚的悲剧啊，女皇自己和天理
The Tsaritsa herself can also have something of a personal grudge against the heavenly
应该也
principles.
算是有一
Isn't
点
that
私
right?
仇吧。
没错，可能旅行者们不曾想到呀，所有的
Never
凯瑞亚
imagined.
人都是女皇的后裔。
All Conrians are descendants of the Tsaritsa. This small bit of information makes almost everything like make so much more sense. And like it makes the Tsaritsa's grudge against the heavens more and more justified. They allegedly took her husband to make the 4 Gnosis. Not 4 Gnosis, the 7 Gnosis, their son. And now, like, they're actually killing off. The heavens are killing off, like, the Tsaritsa's descendants. Which is crazy. That all Conrians are descendants. No, wait. All Conrians are descendants. Descendants of the Tsaritsa. Okay, yeah. Okay. Are all descendants of the Tsaritsa. Which is crazy. I wonder if the heavenly principles, seeing that, you know, the third descender being able to essentially like make or like integrate themselves into Teyvat's elemental system, they realized that he'd be a good candidate to carve into the Gnosis.
哎，等等，小罗啊，我只是说悲剧啊。你刚
And given the fact that the elemental system is like very cryo-centered, that like implies more that did you casually drop something entirely shocking? That gives more credence to the fact that, you know, them and the Tsaritsa definitely had something going on.
才是不是很自然的说出了一句很惊人的话？
Yeah,
我觉
man.
得大家早早晚晚都会猜出
I
来
think
的。
travelers will figure it out
好，
sooner or
那
later.
既然啊，现在大家知道有
I
这
can't
样
wait
的
to
一
see
层
the
渊
travelers'
源在啊
reaction to that.
就更能体会女皇的感受了。但要与天理对抗，这注定是很
Like a
艰难的。
是啊，一场漫长的暴风雪让至东本就严峻的能源储量雪上
Dire
加霜，
energy reserves.
社会各阶层的问题也接踵而至。而女皇此刻正在远方
Poach
亲
now
自
looks so
讨伐
great
引
here.
发这场灾厄的魔物。没有
Okay.
女
Story
皇
awaits in
坐镇
Snezhnaya
的
with
至
a...
东堡会发生什么样的故事呢？
Ooh.
各位旅行者可以在 7.0 版本的魔神任务第7章
Act
第一
1,
幕
Act
无
2.
神怜爱的雪国与第2幕死魂灵的夜曲
Wraith's
中了解到
Nocturne.
更多与之相关的信息。
相信最近啊，也有很多刚刚回到提瓦特的
There
旅
are
行
so
者，
many
担心没
travelers
有
who
办法
just
立
returned
刻
to
了解
Teyvat.
至东的现状。其实从
Yeah.
原神 4.0 版本开始，每年都会为回家
A
的旅行
convenient
者推出一
feature
项
every
便利
year
的
for
功能。
returning travelers where you
而
can
在
just
7.0 版本更新后，
yeah, immediately
所有
just go
完
to
成了
like
魔
the
神任务序章
current
第3
archon
幕
quest after.
巨龙与
Yeah.
自由之歌的旅行者，都可以
Yeah.
直接来到至东境内，接取到7.0 版本的魔神任务了。在
I mean, that's not really... that's not really something for returning travelers. That's not really something returning travelers would... Actually, yeah, it is. But at the same time, you'd want them to just, like, keep up with the story in general and not get, like... Is that why departures have been so, like, unceremonious sometimes? Is that why departures have been so unceremonious sometimes? Right? Because, like, the intent was just sort of, like, leave it there and just move on. That's kind of weird. Not gonna lie. But, you know, I guess that would be useful. It's just I think it would be more beneficial if you just like played the full game and got the full story rather than just jumping to the next region just cuz
以及
Yeah.
奥黛塔的突破材料。
哎，奥黛
Along
塔，
没错，
这位
奥黛
新朋友
塔
我们是不是还没有好好跟旅行者们介绍？我知道呀，有不少旅行者对他都非常关注哦。
我懂的。那我们就来聊聊奥黛
Let's
塔
talk
吧
about。Odette.
其实之前在超越 PB 当中，大家对奥黛塔的第一印
Oh,
象
damn.
可能并不只是舞者，反而觉得她更像是一位刺客。
An
没
assassin.
错， 奥黛塔就像舞剧中的黑白天鹅
Swirling
一般，
snow
一体两面。在台前，她是优雅美丽的舞者，而在幕后，她也是一名敏捷干练的愚人众成员。
Oh, she's
是
a
的，
member of the
她也是
Fatui.
愚人众的一员。
Okay.
大家或许会在月之8版本了解到啊，她其实和愚人众的第8席女士
Yeah, I did not
罗
watch
莎
this
琳有一
interaction
些
at
关
all.
系。
奥黛塔是女士很器重的部下，罗莎琳对她期望不小，
Oh,
当然
okay.
要求也很高。因此
Okay.
在奥黛塔的成长过程中，她既接受着愚人众的严格特训，又在
Really?
不断地精进着自己的芭蕾舞技。在这种日复一日的刻苦训练中啊，她逐渐感受不到疼痛了。
Wow,
旁
that
人听上去啊，感觉这个
that
有
is
点可怜
crazy.
啊。但是奥
So
黛
she
塔她
stopped
自己并不
feeling
这么想
pain?
奥黛塔的性格是非常的执着和要强的，正是因为有这样的性
Okay.
格特点啊，再加上舞者轻巧的身形，让她的战斗风格非常的锋利、敏捷，并且能够随机应战。
Also, the Shadow's like face mask is pretty similar to Columbina's, I think. She's able to adapt quickly.
奥黛塔可以应对多种情境，
Okay.
协助不同的伙伴进行战斗。具体来说呢，这个奥黛塔处于我们的队伍当中
Okay.
她就能将队伍触发的超导反应以及冰扩散
Okay,
反应
so she
转
can
化
also
为新超
trigger
导和
stellar
新扩散
conduct.
反应，而且它还能
I think
提
it's
升
good that
我们
we're
队伍
getting
触发
like a
的
bunch
所有
of.
的新硕反应。
I mean, if it's only the cryo characters that can. I mean, if it's only the cryo characters that can deal stellar conduct, then that would make it like way better than just lunar reactions, because Columbina was the one and only hydro character that could was the only one and only hydro master of all traits basically.
而且它还能提升整个队
So
伍触发
having
的
cryo
所有
characters that
的
can
新
trigger
硕反应造
stellar
成的伤
glimmer
害。
reactions.
两种反应对她来
Enhance
说
the
看来
damage.
都很得心应手呢。
没错，在战斗当中，奥黛塔
In
呈现
battle.
柔
I do wonder, if the more patches release, being able to handle multiple stellar glimmer reactions is going to be more limited, right? Because Traveler, they're the master of, they're the jack of all trades. So them being able to handle all stellar glimmer reactions that come out should be their thing, especially with their history of using multiple elements. But I wonder if the more characters release, I guess the capacity for stellar glimmer reactions
换了舞步，
are more
帮助
limited
独舞
for
倒
those
影
characters.
协助队友进行战斗。
这个倒影的造型啊，看上去就很冰冷锐利。
Ooh,
独舞倒影可以间歇
She
性
works
造成强烈的
off-field.
新硕反应伤害。此外呢，
Ooh.
还可以为队伍中所有的成员提供新
kind
硕
of
反
like
应
a
增伤加成。
cryonical.
当然，奥黛塔自己也能上场
She
输
can
出
take。the field
当
now.
他再次释放元素战技时
These，are
就能与
elemental skill
独舞倒影
again.
携手共舞，释放特殊的元素战技。
哦，不
Ooh,
愧是我们首席芭蕾舞者的身手啊。
that's actually pretty
而奥
good.
黛塔的元素爆发，我们可以看到是作为黑白体，
Yeah, I think I might actually pull for
两
her.
人奥黛塔同时发起攻击。
But I don't have the funds.
同样的姿态，一面持剑，一面起舞，就是两种不同的感觉呢。那
Yeah.
鸡哥啊，在战斗之外，我们有没有什么地方可以领略到奥黛塔的舞姿呢
Is？there
这里
anywhere
我们
else?
当然也想
The
到了。
theater.
我们之前也说过啊，希望旅行者能够更好地感受到开放世界的真实感。于是我们将奥黛塔的身份和性格特征
Identity and
融入到了
personality
她日
into
常的
everyday
行为设计当中。
behaviors.
当你看到奥黛塔在待机状态下进行舞蹈练习的时候啊，可以通过连续点按元素战技，欣赏到她持续的表演。在
Oh,
至东区域啊，还会有特别的演绎彩蛋。
that's actually pretty
接下来啊，我
cool.
们再来聊聊另外一位来自至东边境小镇的猎人阿罗夏吧。
好
Alosha,
那阿罗夏呀，他是本地的猎人，
local
旅行者跟
hunter.
小太魔啊初来乍到，刚好可以让他来带带路。
没错，咱们阿罗夏就是位靠谱的伙伴。
不过雪国边境猎人，那的确看起来有不少应对突发状况的经验啊。
是的，阿罗夏他不仅捕猎的枪法了得，捕兔子的经验也很丰富哦。
哎
Chasing
你说的这个
rabbits
兔子应该不是
Hunting
普通的兔子吧？
鸡哥直觉很准啊，在优秀的猎人眼中，那些潜在的对手也是一种猎物。要想在至东的雪原上行走啊，没点真本事那可真不行。
这一点在阿罗夏的战斗当中也有体现。阿罗夏可以使用雷元素的力量为对手添加异类印记。若阿罗夏处于吉星推
That's
力
actually
当中
pretty
激活
cool.
印记，还能提供新超导伤害加成。释放元素爆发，阿罗夏还能丢出陷阱，嘲讽周围的敌人。
看上去阿罗夏的猎犬胡加林 也会和他一起协同
Join
攻
him
击
in
猎
a
物的。
没
coordinated
错，不仅
attack.
如此啊，当图加林攻击的时候，
That's actually
还能为
pretty
场上的角色
convenient.
恢复生命值。而在战
Also,
斗
are
之
these
外，
minotaurs?
阿
What
罗
the
夏的探
fuck?
索天赋还能够标记地图上附近之
And
特产的位置。
okay.
看来阿罗夏能给旅
Do
行
you
者
get
在
him
之
for
中的
free?
冒险带来很多帮助嘛。
没错，
Please tell me you
而
get
且
him
啊，
for
这
free.
一次在推进本次的魔神任务无神怜爱的雪国的过程当中，我们也可以直接邀请这位伙伴加入冒险队伍了。
Thank you.
当然了，阿罗夏他可不仅是边境猎人啊，他还有一重隐藏的身份。
哎，等，我觉得还是等阿罗夏他自己来告诉旅行者比较好。我们
I think Alosia will be the one to like introduce the traveler to the right because this whole thing is like shooting and like the whole like debacle with like the shadow realm and whatnot. So I wonder if he's going to be the person that like introduces the traveler to the shadow realm and like teaches them how to use a gun. But then again, his weaponry does seem like not as high tech as the traveler's like Glock. So
现在啊倒是可以
well
聊
not
聊之中的
Glock
其他
but
朋友
like their
们。
好的，好
rifle.
的，好的。那在超越 PV 当中啊，我相信大家也看到了许多新的面孔，也有很多有意思的新伙伴。比如
Yeah.
科洛列夫茨基剧院内就有2位关系很好的明星人物，一位是
Ooh.
我们刚才提到的剧院的首席芭蕾舞演员奥黛塔，另一位呢是首席女高音歌唱
Yeah,
家沃亚妮
this is the
莎。
one.
哎，这两位，一
Vodnyashtia
位唱歌，一位跳舞。
This is the one I
要是他
want to
俩一
pull.
起演出的话，岂不是剧中最具人气的组合？
2位首席的粉丝确实不少啊，就连皇家能源协会的米提亚也是剧院的常客哦。
皇家能源协会的科学家也有空看芭蕾舞跟歌剧吗？
其实啊，他主要是来找灵感，
His hair looks
只是很可
awesome.
惜，每次他出来看演出，还会被军械宫的瓦列里少校抓个正着，回去上班。
哎，看起来这剧院里有这么多人，
Okay.
是不是要上演一出很有意思的戏
There
吗？
are already
这个要我
interesting
们小
shows
心
to
一点，不要剧
unfold.
透哦。
好
No
好的好的我懂
spoilers
我懂。嗯，
那剧院的精彩戏目确实需要保持一些悬念，但我们现在可以跟大家分享的是，有一些志东的朋友的确会来到剧院看奥黛塔的演出。
没错，就像我们在志东幕后故事当中说的那样，我们希望更多的内容啊，可以被设计成被玩家更自然的体验到的形式。他们的身份、性格、他们的遗憾、他们的小心思和烦恼，在丰富的演出之外，还应该在日常的游玩当中得到更多的体现。相信很多旅行者还记得啊，在《空月之歌》版本当中，我们能够了解到菲林斯、雅克达这些角色的生活剪影。
而在7.0
Oh,
版
so
本的
like
剧组任务里啊，
antidotes.
各位旅行者甚至还能走进奥黛塔的生活，亲自为她规划日程。
哎，这听起来
Sounds a bit more like a manager. Okay, scheduling the day.
有点像是经纪人。不
Okay.
过要给奥黛塔规划日程，看起
Planning
来
a
还是有些挑
schedule
战的。
是的
for
毕竟她既是芭蕾舞者，又是愚人众的成员，旅行者可能要面临很多平衡和抉择了。大家是希望安排她排练舞剧，还是执行一项魔物清剿的任务？是想让她外出放松，还是举行粉丝见面会去提高人气？根据旅行者不同的安排和选择，奥黛塔的故事也会有不同的展开
Oh,
哦。
so they're like
也欢迎大
hangouts?
家多多尝试，看看都会发生什么有趣的事件。
而在阿罗夏的剧所故事中，
Oh,
旅行者
meeting
将和这位
points,
猎人
okay.
一起调查一桩危险的团伙
I
案件。
still don't understand. I don't
完成
know
这个
why
任
I'm
务
acting
还
like
会
I
有额
do.
外的收获。
这个任务中发现了一张特殊的权限卡，至于这张卡具体能解锁什么，就留给大家在游戏里寻找答案吧。而在我们剧院的首席女高音沃亚丽莎的剧所任务中，她偶尔也会躲在自己的秘密基地进行练习。
哎，但既然它叫秘密基地啊，我们要是误打误撞的闯进去，可说不好咱们的水妖小姐会不会生气啊？
Oh, she's an imp.
有传言就说这个地方啊，它时不时会传来一些奇怪的声音，把周围的小动物都给吓跑了。
不过我也了解到，薇尔妮莎其实是遭遇了一些练声方面的困扰，才躲进这里的。
那还是请我们的旅行者帮帮他吧。
随着旅行者与奥黛塔、阿罗夏、沃亚妮莎的关系越来越亲近，还会开启一个特殊的任务线，让旅行者了解到至东的一个废弃车站。热心的
Okay.
维尔妮莎拉上了奥黛塔和阿罗夏共同帮忙，希望让这座车站重新运作起来。
Oh my
当
god.
所有角色的剧所达到一定等级
What are
后，就
those?
会开启这条
What
全新的
are
故事
those
线了。
things?
是的，我们希望能让大家
Are they
以后
like
就会开。
重新运作起来。
elf children
当
or
3位
something?
角色的剧所达到一定等级后，就会开启这条全新的故事线了。
是的，
They're like
我们
mini
希望能让大
Pochinellos.
家感受到，你不仅仅是在提瓦特大陆旅行，更是在这里与一群鲜活的人共同生活，共同书写彼此的故事。而在
Cool.
未来， 我们也会慢慢接触到其他的至东角色的生活，甚至是那位看起来遥不可及的冰之女皇。另外，还有东气军的司令官，活跃灵动的风仙威斯纳，还有世代侍奉至东王座的皇家女部长达妮卡。
哎，这2位应该就是女皇陛下的左膀右臂了吧？
哇
的确，他们作为左膀右臂，常伴女皇身侧。只是这左膀和这右臂，他们会
Whether
不
both
会
these
相互
hands
拉起
will
来，
end
我就
up
不好
coming
说
to
了。另
blows.
外，还有来自遥远时代的神秘
Mysterious
奥
foe.
在后续的版本，
Noi.
旅行者们都能逐渐认识并了解他们。
聊了这么多新朋友啊，不如也让我们关注一下7.0
Yeah.
版本活动契约相关的情报吧。
The event
在
wishes.
7.0 版本的上半期，
Odette and Arlenchino.
4星角色阿罗夏的获取概率也将大幅提升。5星单手剑白狐冬女也将在上半期的武器活动起源当中出现。
White
感
Lake
兴趣的旅行者可
Frostfeather.
以多多关注。而在7.0 版本的下半期，菲林斯
Okay,
和伊涅夫
Flynn's
将会加入
and
角色
I
活动契约。
know.
带上新老朋友们一起探索至东吧。
当然了，除了新版本的5星单手剑以外，
Ooh, new craftable weapons. Ember Well, Covenant of Frost and Snow, Blade of Atonement, Echoes of the Heart, Song of the Vigil.
我们在7.0也会有5把
What's the
全新的
ascension stat for
锻造
each of
武器
them?
等待着大家
Do。we get to know?
旅行者们可以在制
Are
作
any of them
的
crit?
进行制作。
Can I use any of them as a stat stick?
不仅如此，这一次的进行系统
Oh, new
我们也
battle
更
pass
新了5把
weapons.
全新的武器。
Are any of these my stat sticks?
此外，
that I'm not
全
gonna
新
buy?
圣遗物血红之证和炉火龙纹
Ooh, okay. Boosts crit rate and stellar swirl. Boosts attack and the party stellar glitter damage. Well, I already know. I already know which artifacts to give to my
介
Mizuki.
绍了这么多内容，不妨让旅行者们休息一会儿，
I-
看一段短片吧。
I really don't feel like changing my current traveler artifacts just for the sake of fitting into like the stellar
请大家不要走
glimmer,
开哦。
fitting in with like the stellar glimmer meta. Oh damn. He just gets an arsenal of Glocks. A Jack Frost. Paimon picture. How did bro not die? This is crazy. I'm going to suck ass at this because I always suck ass at it. Elemental warfare is canon, I suppose. I always suck ass at FPS shooters. That's crazy. Is Traveler mostly gonna be by themselves for most of the Archon quest? I don't know, they seem to be enjoying themselves, but this is probably just like trailer stuff. Yeah, this is probably just trailer stuff, but the idea of them mostly being alone is actually crazy.
旅行者们好，我是原神
Hello
的设计师阿川。
Hello，大家好，我是原神的场景美术莎莎，很高兴能够在这里和大家分享至东版本的精彩内容。
大家刚才看 PV 了吧？眼尖的朋友
Yes
肯定已经发现了。咱
Some sharp-eyed travelers might have noticed the new outfit. Oh my god. A combat suit specifically designed for the Shadow Realm. Please be an overworld
不光换
thing.
了身行头，连手里的
Please
武
be
器
an
都一起
overworld
换代了
thing.
时代变了，
时代真的变了。
不过我们想给旅行者们带来新鲜体验的初衷是一直没有改变的。
虽然原神已经陪伴了大家很多年，但我们依然希望每年都能给旅行者带来截然不同的体验。 那到了至东，我们给大家带来的新玩法之一，便是这第三人称射击玩法。
Third-person
这
shooter
也是我们下了
gameplay.
很大力气的一次尝试，而至东就是呈现它的最佳舞台。
为什么这么说呢？
Yeah, why
先
is
从我们
that?
美术的视角来看，至东的整体风格就充满了工业与科技感，
Industrial
而
and
射击玩
technological
法就与至东所呈现出来的这种气质非常适配。
Okay.
那从我们关卡设计的角度来看，至东本身就存在着像
Yeah.
民众先遣队、
I mean, we've
特
seen
甲
it
队
since
这样
day
的
one, so
持
it's
枪
not
敌人
unusual,
大家玩起
but
来也能更有沉浸感。
I
再
don't
加
know.
上至东这片土地上有一个名为隐域的特殊空间，隐域是天
Yeah,
理
they
的
got me
视
there.
线也不愿投入的至暗区域，
Utter
具有
darkness
规则之
and
外
behind the gaze of the, and not within the gaze of the heavenly
的特
principles.
性，这也为我们创造全新
Making
的
it
玩
the
法
perfect
提供了环境。
Just new
当然了，
entirely
我们
gameplay
绝对不会把一个
experiences.
玩法孤立地加入原神。
没错，
我们将射击玩法与元素反应进行深度融合，希望通过玩法乐趣的叠加，让旅行者体验到真正的原神式射击。
Oh
但
my
是这个
god.
目标也把我们带到了一个前所未有的挑战面前。这方面，阿川你应该感触颇深吧？
说实话，要在原神
This
这
should
个开放世
honestly
界
be
游戏
more
里首次
entertaining
做
than most
射击
FPS
玩法，
shooters
就
I've
要
ever
兼顾
played.
电脑、
And the only
主机
other
手
FPS
机的
shooter
操
I've
作
ever
体
played
验
was
开发
TF2.
难度还是挺大的。但比起开发难度的事儿，我们更在意的是
Though I
怎
am
么
curious
才能
about the
让所
lore
有
that
玩
we're
家都
gonna
玩得开
like
心呢？
encounter
有的旅
during
行者
that.
可能对射击玩法
during
已经
the
很熟悉
Shadow
了，
Realm.
但也有旅行者可能是第一次
And I
接
wonder
触
like
射击
what's
玩
the
法，
lore
没有
explanation
像
for
我
the
这样
Shadow
人菜
Realm.
瘾大的人。
所以我们加入了微
Oh,
子
they're gonna
秒
add
和
new
吸
settings
附这样的
for
辅助机制，它能够帮大家更稳定的
Micro-aim
命中目标，可以更轻松地享受射击的
Okay
乐趣。
可是那被打了要怎么办呢？
别担心，我们在关卡中设计了掩体，并且适配了相关动作，大家可以利用掩体进行躲避，或是翻越掩体接近敌人。当然也可以轻松地触发流畅的滑铲动作，杀敌人一个措手不及。而且在滑铲和跃起的时候，也
Yeah,
可
but I
以开
do
枪。
wonder like
那对于我们这样喜欢探索的玩家，射击操作起来会不会比较难呀？
though some of the
我们在关卡设计
Fatui
上
some of those
也考虑
Fatui
了
enemies
不同
have
玩家的
this like
喜好
weird
准备了
aura
多种
around
类
them,
型的
which
射
makes
击
me
关
wonder
卡
as to whether or
既
not
有
they're
剧
actually
情体验丰
real.
富的探索关卡
Oh, Paimon's
也有
here
酣
too.
畅淋漓的战斗关卡。
So I guess they're not gonna be
战斗
alone
地
for
形
most of the
有
most of the
广阔的
journey.
旷野战，也有紧张的室内战。旅行者们可以使用不同的策略应战。
那听起来大家也不用太紧张，这些射击关卡都是以乐趣为前提而设计的。
But I'm guessing
没错
it's
有些关卡不需要
I'm guessing this is
高
one
超
of the things that the
也能
Fatui
玩
is
得
like
很开心
researching.
大家可以巧妙地利用环境来
It
制
would
敌
make sense
比如
that this
击
is
碎
just
地
like
面
another
可以
area
让
that
敌
the
人掉入
Fatui
水
are
中
researching
当
because
然，对于渴望挑战的玩家，我们也准备了高难关卡。那里的挑战会真正的考验你的操作、你的策略，还有你对游戏
Oh,
机制的理解
okay.。
还有就是我们在武器设计
Wow
上也是花了很多心思的，比如在7.0版本就有3种
the tri-elemental beam.
枪械可以选择，有可以
This is the
精准
closest
射
that
击的
travelers
边缘
ever
速步
come
枪，
to
也
using
有能帮你自动
multiple
锁定敌
elements
人的雷
within
源
the
速步
gameplay
枪
on their
还
own.
有可以一发多敌，并提供大范围元素伤害的榴弹发射器。
It's like they have the capacity to make them do
根
so.
据自己的风格
And this is
和
has
枪械进行作战。而且在至中
And
探
this
索
is
的时候，
like
旅
the
行者们
most
还可以
useful
不断地
like
发现
an
各种
elemental
小配
gun
件
has
从而
ever
提
been
升
to
自己的
them
力
other
量
than just
在
their
7.0
fucking
版
hydro
本，
skill.
东细军也会定期组织隐喻环境下的周期训练，旅行者们参与
Really？
其中，还可以获得各种奖励。
在未来，我们还会推出各种各样具备不同游
I
玩
mean,
体
given
验
the
的
fact
枪
that
械
this is
和
a
关卡。
realm
为啥
that's
听了这
like
么多
not
你是不
within
是
the
觉
gaze
得你
of
也可以成为
the
提瓦特的射击
not
高
within
手
the
了
gaze
哎
of
呀，
like
懂你意思，我到时
the
候就
heavenly
试试。
principles,
不
it
过我
would
感
make
觉很
sense
多
that the
旅行者
Fatui
可
are
能和
sort
我
of
一样更习
making
惯
their
原神
moves
的
in that
常
sort of
规操作
area
方式
and
吧
like
就
trying to,
算
I
我们现在
guess,
这么说，大家可能还是
do
会
whatever
有
they're
点
doing in that
我
area.
真的能适应射击的操作方式吗？
考虑到不同玩家的使用习惯，我们也在大家初次接触射击玩法的时候，准备了2套按键方案，以适配不同习惯的玩家。也会开放具体的按键设置，大家可以自行前往设置界面进行修改。
总之，我们的目标是让大家都能在
I'm
这
sure
个射击
everyone
玩法
can
里
find
找
their
到
own
属于自
enjoyment
己
in
的
this
乐
shooting
趣，也希
gameplay.
望各位旅行者能够玩得开心。
就像我们一直说的，至东是个抗争的国度，它的野心是超越
Nation of
规则，
resistance,
是打破
ambition
束
to-
缚。而我们作为开发者
As，
在构
developers-
思至东大世界体验时
Okay
也想打破一下游戏设计的常规思路。我们希望为旅行者们带来更丰富的交互体验。
所以这次我们也针对这一点做了不少设计。大家知道，至东面临的2大生存挑战就是极寒环境和能源危机。说到寒冷环境，很多旅行者可能会联想到冰雪山的体验。
Are they gonna bring back?
希望能让旅行者们
Are they gonna bring back the dragon spot?
的沉浸感。
Don't do it, please.
又难免会让一些旅行者产生
Yes,
压力。
because it
不过
is.
这次在至东，大家就不用担心了。
Thank
因为我们换了
God.
一个思路。
没错，旅行者们在抵达至东之后，会获得一副来自骇破波瑞亚的眼镜，这也
Gacha
是我
from
们在至东幕
Hyperborea
后故事中提到的妙妙工具，我们叫它灰谋。
它很贴心哦，它不仅能
Oh my god, that's actually crazy. Hyperborea technology being used to resist the cold. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm back. So, as far as like Hyperborea goes, it's definitely one of my weak points as like in terms of Genshin lore. Also, will we get to use this in just like Dragon Spine entirely?
抵御寒冷。
Right, because there are still like 5 more like
我们就先说这
crimson
几个寒冷吧
things
灰谋可以储
that I
存
want
特殊能
to.
量
Eye of
当
Grace
旅行者
stores
在寒冷的
cryogenic
地区
energy.
行动时，它会消耗能量来帮你保暖。
Oh my
只有能
god.
量耗尽后，寒冷值才会积累。
Oh my
这样
god.
就能够保留旅行者们在至东这种
Preserve the
生
sense
存
of
压力下的代入
immersion.
感，又不会让大家感到太焦虑了。
Preserve the sense of immersion. I mean, you got. I mean, okay, this would. I mean, if most people in Snezhnaya have this, then it would make sense that why like some of the characters just the way they
它可以
do.
把一种名为真冰的冰块作为建材吸收，然后转化成各种各样的真
Oh, so
冰
it's kind of like
利用灰
phlogiston.
谋这种能力
but
你
it
甚至
keeps
可以
you
建造
warm.
一个雪球发射器，把自己当成雪球发射出去。
用这种方式探索至东，说不定也是不错的选择呢。当然啦，你也可以造一个勾连炮，帮某个调
A
皮的双
grappling
针拉过来。
gun.
你还可以建造一个简易暖源，让它在一定范围内跟随你，并持续提供温暖。
更有趣的是，真冰造物还能和其他旅行者互动。你造的暖源不仅能给自己用，还能分享给其他旅行者。你也可以留下信息标识，为后来者提供路标。
你看，在至东，你一个人的创造就能够帮助到很多人。
这其实也是把一部分交互的主动权交到大家手中。这真冰造物真不错。
好忍，不愧是至东。不过它本来就是冰。
除了真冰造物
I lost my
我们的
train of
新
thought
超
about
岛反
something.
应也能和大世界产生更多交互。比如星超岛创造的星辉棱晶也有御寒能力。如果你愿意，也可以把这个抵御寒冷的庇护所分享给其他人。
星辉人晶的作用还不止于此，它也可以强化我们刚刚提到的真冰造物。它能让雪球飞得更远，还能让封存的料理变成美味料理。更多有意思的玩法，就等各位
Yeah, I'm not retaining any of this.
也正如我们之前在至东幕后故事中提到的，我们希望大家能够按照自己的想法去体验和优化原神这个世界，
Find their world in a creative way. So this is probably what they mean by like use cryo to like reshape the land.
聊了这么多，我们是不是也应该带大家好好逛逛至东了？
It's like okay,
我们这一次的
you're definitely using it to
重工业的结合，
like
浪漫与残酷的
make your own ways in like the world. And also, there's the word romantic again. Like this probably really is just the nation of love.
那就是双金的村落。这里居住着调皮的
But then again,
你会和他们
I wonder how like most people like in Teyvat would like react to Snezhnaya being the nation of love, mostly because of just their perception of the Fatui.
呀吼！不开玩笑了，旅行者们还可以找到这里的村长，兑换一个特别的武器外观。
看着
Oh my
很美的
god.
样子。哦，对了，至东的羽绒也
Wow,
很
it's
特
perfect for
别，
Gigi.
有长得像雪花的，也有长得像雪人的，真是一方水土养一方鱼呀。
可不是嘛，在这神奇的至东，连兽怪都会钓鱼。
还是用尾巴钓鱼，
Snakes.
这至东奇妙的物种可真不少。
你是懂的。你看这儿还有，看着就很会挠痒人的极地熊，看着就很乐呵的雪地犬，看着就很会滑冰的兽怪，看着就很另类的夜角鸮，还有看着就很有学术气质的小熊。虽然可能
Those are the little elf things. I wonder that's what also.
合照。不过我建议大家还是先保持安
I
全
wonder
距离。
that's what's
毕竟这里
also
是
like
至东
Piero
不要低
too.
估了这片土地上
Ooh.
任何一个生灵的战斗力。
是的，除
Dang.
了有趣的生态， 应该也有旅行者想感受一下至东
Want
的
to
人文
experience
生活
cultural life and
与工
industrial
业脉
pulse
搏。
of
如
Snezhnaya.
果对这个感兴
If
趣，
you're interested
那
in
我
that,
推荐大家
I highly
一定
recommend
要来
checking
体
out our
验一下我
comprehensive
们完
railway
整的铁路系
system.
统。至东有很多的列车
Snezhnaya
站点，
has
我
many
最推荐
railway
大家
systems.
来列车总站看看。
It's most recommended
如果
most.
说至东堡
If
是至东
Snezhnaya
的
is the
心
heart
脏，
of
那
Snezhnaya,
列车总
the
站
central
便是至东
system
的
of
命脉。
Snezhnaya's
在
lifeline.
这里，你会看到
Here,
买票
you'll see
候车
Snezhnaya
的至
buying
东人。
tickets and
有
waiting
的
for their
人带着理
trains.
想而来，有的人带着希望出发，
Ideals.
有的人在为职责驻守，有的人在为生计奔波。这里是至东的列车总站，也可以说是至东浪漫与残酷的生活缩影。
Romantic,
在轨
yet
道旁
cruel
边
way，of
旅行
life.
者们还可以召唤自己的专属列车
Some，
控制列车前往至东
exclusive
的出发站
train.
点。
我们还为
Okay.
旅行者配备了齐全的车内设施
More。
如果
facilities
你
for
想尝试与
travelers.
改造枪械，可以在枪械准备台进行操作。如果你想快速提交每日任务，也可以通过征兵通话器联系凯瑟琳。
Oh, yeah.
顺带
Oh,
一提，合
dang.
成台也会放在你的火车上。
这你倒提醒我了，在至东堡确实没见到合成台。
Yeah, I've
因为
heard
现
of.
在的至东是明令禁止
Okay,
研究炼金术
yeah,
但我
alchemy
们
is
是
strictly
降临者
forbidden.
我们有自
But
己
as
的
ascenders,
做
we
事方
found
式。
our own way
但
of
是我
doing
听说
things.
在古老的至东，曾经有许
So
多
what,
炼
did the
金
travelers
术
just
士
like-
他们留下了各种炼金
The
造物。
travelers just like make
不
their
错
own shit.
各位旅行者也可以尝试
Immortal
去挑战这些古老的炼金
construct
造物，比如不灭衍生造物，或是嵌合异菌师，从而获得奥黛塔和
Oh
阿
my
克夏的
God
培养材料。
说起来，旅行者们有没有注意到挂在至东天空
What
上那些
is
像树
that?
枝一样的东西？它和7.0版本的世界任务有关。各位旅行者将会踏上一段探寻至东历史
History
的
of
旅程。
Snezhnaya.
在这段旅途中，旅
During
行
this
者们
journey,
可能会来
travelers
到
may
一片
find
完全
themselves
不
in a
同的区
completely
域
different
——
area.
燕鱼谷。这里异常
Flame
温暖，
Feather
温暖到
Valley.
诡异的程
The
度。
warmth is
而
almost
奇怪的油
unnerving.
膜伪装在环境中的树人，还有头上长树枝的小女孩
Little girl，with
让这里
branches
一切
growing from
看起来更加古怪。
Making it
另
more
外，
surreal.
大家还可能会参加一场雪
A
娘的婚礼。
wedding.
哎，听说雪娘是为爱而生的种族，想必她的婚礼一定很浪漫吧？
那我
Wedding
可不
must
好
be
说。
romantic.
我们还是先来看看这白桦雪藏地吧。
White
在这里
birch.，
旅行者们能了解到至东的初代冰神白茶皇的故事，也会经历一场特殊的试炼。
And
大
also,
家还记得我们之前提到的眼镜灰谋吗？在这段旅
Yeah.
途中，我们还会帮灰谋寻找过去的力量。
原
Really？
来我们在7.0版本有这么多可以探索的地方呀！当然，限定时间内完成探索目标，还能获得
OK
400原始奖励哦。
聊了这么多，其实我们所做的一切都是希望给每一位旅行者带来前所未有的体验。无论你是喜欢爽快的射击，
I've seen like Brandon online say that like these things look like fragile, like the trees in fragile resin. So, and there was like what seemed to be a
奖励
domain
哦。
like in the
聊了这么
trailer.
多
So I wonder
其实我
if
们所做的一切
like it has
都是
anything to
希
do
望
with
给
that.
每一位旅行者带来前所未有的
Or
体
maybe
验
they're making their
无论
own
你是喜欢
ley
爽
line
快的射
system.
击还是喜欢精妙的解谜，
I
或
don't
者喜欢
know.
动人的故事。
在至
Though
东
that would be a
至东
bit
童
like
话与
that
工
would be
业
a
交织的
bit
国度
that would be a
都
bit
能找到
unnecessary
回忆
given
美好
like, you
和
know,
感动。
Aru is
那
not
这
like
个
the
环节的
data
内容
bank of
就先到这
Teyvat.
儿了。我们先休息一下，接下来还有版本活动、至东音乐现场以及千星奇遇的相关内容。那旅行者们，一会儿见，
拜拜。
拜拜。
Also, without Irminsul, like, how are the ley lines doing? I kind of forgot that detail. Damn. It sucks that I won't be. It sucks that I won't be able to enjoy the update as soon as it comes out, because I have work then. All right, let's just see.
多年来，应该是你第一次看。
大家好，
哎，
Alright
说起来啊，Ryan，这么多年来，应该是你第一次，也是海外的小伙伴第一次出现在前瞻节目的现场啊。
是的，非常高兴能够来现场参加前瞻节目。我想啊，
Hey, Ryan
现在应该有不少世界各地的旅行者正在看我们的前瞻节目吧。那么，作为一款在全球同步发行的游戏呢，我们很开心能够看到越来越多的旅行者加入这场旅途。
没错，那这些年来啊，我们也看到了全球各地的旅行者陪伴原神一起走过的脚印。
是的，我想无论旅行者们来自
No
哪
matter
里，
where
都
travelers
一定
come
能在至
from,
东找到那份
I'm
属
sure
于
they'll
自己的
find
快乐。
something to love about
那接下
Snezhnaya.
来，不妨就一起先看一看至东的版本活动吧。
Dude, I already
哎
love
这
the
个我
vibes.
听说这次为了促进
Great
各国冒险
Expeditions
家的友好交
Challenge
流， 冒险家协会总部在至东举办了一场前所未有的赛事。
是的，那
I already just like love the vibes of just like the humble urban life.
兰姐已经在现场摩拳擦掌了。
哎，我看
Isn't she like that bit?
哦
Oh,
应
Diana.
该是来寻找调酒材料的。
她同
Okay.
时也是这次赛会聘请的调饮师。我们说回比赛这次赛事的独特之处就在于它没有历史经验可以参考，对于所有的冒险家来说都是全新的挑战。这是因为这一次参赛选手将亲自驾驶列车在至东的雪原上穿梭驰骋。
不过这个至东幅员辽阔，那列车在行驶的过程中间可能会碰到特殊天气、特殊地形。
没错，那旅行者们呢，为了处理这些危机情况，可以通过换挡。
Okay, I'll be completely honest. I don't necessarily care about all this
此外
mechanic
赛事
stuff.
还准备了射击项目，考验参赛者对新式武器的驾驭能力。
Oh my god, don't
尽可
tell
能
me.
击倒更多的标靶，便可以获取更高的评分。
哎，正好大家就可以试试自己在隐喻中练习的成果。
Put everything they
当
learned
然
about
了，
the
我们
Shadow
也可以帮助
Realm.
可爱的双击，或者是在秘境中打得痛快，都可以拿到不错的积分，获取多样的奖励，还能邀请迪奥娜加入旅行者的队伍。
Oh, that's the event for this. Okay.
是的，
这样正好就可以在至东试试身手了。
那说回冒险家协会这个话题自然就少不了凯瑟琳。旅行者们这一次可以前往海蟹镇参与活动与挑战，抽取凯瑟琳的立项部件，用自己喜欢的方式搭建出凯瑟琳的不同形象。
Okay.
无论是拿来装点海蟹镇，还是放进成歌湖收藏，这都是一个非
I'll
常
be
不错的
completely
选择。
honest, I don't
那如果
really
旅行者们抽出的
care
这些部件有
about
富裕，也可以
most
将
of
它
this
放进记
quality
录装
of
置。
life. I don't really care
集
most
齐
about
提瓦
this
特
stuff.
所有国家的牌位了。
是的，那更多的活动内容就留给大家亲自
Yeah, I don't fully care about the events.
我们为旅行者
I'm
准备
not
了一
as
本
locked
智
in
能
with the
冒险
events
笔
as
记
I was
它会
like a
根
few
据旅
years
行者
ago.
的探索进度记录冒险内容。旅行者也可以通过冒险笔记更快捷地前往对应的区域，或者获得对应的奖励。
听起来这个是方便又实用。
是的，这样一来不仅接取任务更方便了，还可以帮助旅行者了解故事的脉络，
Okay.
更直观地看到至东这片土地上正在发生什么。而在冒险之证当中，我们也优化
Adventurer's
圣遗
Handbook
物秘境的排序方式。版本更新后，
Sorting
最新
method
开
for
放的圣
artifact
遗物秘
domains.
境将在
I
前排
remember
显示。
someone like having like this
随着
very
版本的开启
fucking weird
原神的地
complaint
图可探索
about
又一次扩大了。我们将进一步提升地图标记的
about
质量
like
上限
the order of
方
like
便各位
boss
旅行者
domains.
探索和记录有价值的地点和情报。
It's like who cares?
地图更大了，冒险的标记也更多了。旅行就是这样一件充满了成就感的事情。
是的，接下来是幽静微战相关的内容更新。
Really?
在版本更新后，我们将在
This is
常
gonna
驻
be
玩法
interesting.
幽静微战当中新增一套全新的武器外观。
Of
也就是说
course.
这个版本开始起，达成挑战的旅行者
Wow.
可以从过去和现在所有的外观当中任意选择自己喜欢的外观来搭配了。
那么也就是说，从7点
Oh
半
my
开始
god.
在限定时间内完成绝境关卡，旅行者就可以获得2套很好看的外观喽。
是的，是的。那今年旅
Yeah,
行者的
this
旅途
is
已经抵达了至东
pointless.。
每一年，我们都希望为大家推出更多全新的体验，也希望这些内容能让你们和提瓦特这个世界产生更多的牵绊。
没错，无论是旅行者在提瓦特经历的故事，还是在旅行路上的点滴，都会被铭记。而持续更新优质版本内容，为玩家提供丰富的长线游玩体验，这确实也是原神一直以来秉承的
Has
创作理
always
念。
been
所
upheld.
以，接下来
So up
我们
next,
还有一个内容
we
要
have
分
one
享
more
给各位
thing
旅
to
行
share
者。
with all
在去年
travelers.
开发组的各
Last year,
位
the
为旅行者
development
们
team
放上了一
introduced
个玩法
gameplay
系
to
统
the
逆行
so-called
修为，
Tempered Thyself
见证
and
了玩
Journey
家
Bar.
与角色的牵绊。
We've
我
witnessed
们
the
也希望能
bonds
和旅行者把这段牵绊继续
carry
延续
those
下去。
bonds
因
forward.
此，新一期的
More
会员
more
将
free
在
cons.
现在
Okay. So at first I was gonna get Mona C4, but you know, I think with how like the meta's going on, like actually building your fucking Mizuki is like literally the no-brain like thing to do. I'm definitely gonna get Shiori C1 because I lost the 50-50 like almost like a year ago at this point. I lost the 50-50 to like Shalonen's banner almost a year ago at this
更
point.
多的角色。
And then I'll get
这
Emily
期有
C2.
不少角色呀，
没错，
我看还有一些获得了模拟
See some
运势的
characters
角
to
色
receive.
也加入了
Okay.
可选范围。
是的，是的。那就像去年我们说过的那样
They are never
旅行
gonna
者
add
的一
archons
举
to
一
that.
动都会被这个世界铭记，并且和你共鸣。
哎，几哥，按照惯例，这个环节之后是不是应该到每年摇晃红酒杯的时候？
看来 Ryan 和旅行者们一样，都已经迫不及待的想看一看今年的交响乐
You
现
know,
场了。
ooh.
看看这一次 HoYoMix 的同学们
See what
会给旅
happens
行
in
者们带来怎
HoYoMix
样的
has
惊喜？
in store for
今年
travelers
啊，
this
我们
time.
也安排了一位老朋友在现场。
哦，
Ooh. What the fuck?
Hi Robert，
Hello. Yes, yes, I'm prepared now to go to Snezhnaya. Yes, we're going to record the music. It's been a great pleasure and a wonderful opportunity to work with MiHoYo and Genshin Impact over the last, golly, what is it now, 4 or 5 years. It's a pleasure to meet you all. We're currently recording music for the Snezhnaya. This year's music gives a completely different feel. It's more solemn and emotionally charged. Which
Yeah.
actually requires the composers to capture it very delicately
Okay.
in order to bring it to life. Yes, please. 1, 2.
Ah, dude, this is beautiful. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go watch this on my own time. I don't feel. Oh my god. More Diddy Astra Wonderland. I'm gonna watch the music on my own time. I mostly just want to kind of cut this short because this reaction has been going on for like an hour and a half almost. So I'm gonna skip the music part. I'm sorry. But fucking more updates to Diddy Astra Wonder. Stop updating Diddy Astra. Stop.
一个前面我们提到了这个射击玩法，那么它的相关资产在
Okay, man. All right. Whether it's this year's Snezhnaya updates, the lands of Teyvat, or distant worlds, or the distant worlds.
在今年的至东版本
Distant worlds that awaits us in the future? So we are gonna go to. Okay. I'm probably gonna.
超越规则的内容，为各位旅行保持初心，创
We continue creating content that breaks
作
down.
出更多打破常规、超越规则的内容，
Oh
为
my
各位旅
god.
行者带来更多意想不到的惊喜。就像一颗坚实的种子，无论它长成多么参天的大树，无论它的枝芽通向何方，它的根依然深深地扎在这片最初的土地上。
Planted where it first
在
took
未来
root.
原神也会一如既往地打磨品
To
质，
polish its
用
quality
稳定、可持续的
through
更新，
stable,
将这份惊喜延续
sustainable
下去。
updates.
是的，正如基哥所
That's
说
right.
我们的每一位同学，无论身处国内还是海
Whether
外
that，be China
都
on
会陪伴
board.
着全球的旅行者们
Travel
一起走过
travel
接下来的每一个版本，回馈每一份热爱和期待。同时呢，我还想以我个人的角度多说一句，我想感谢一下咱们的每一位旅行者，感谢你们选择成为了旅行者，因为你们，我们才知道全世界的玩家都如此的原神，我们才有了一直坚持下去的信心。
Dude, the
这条冒
cosplays.
险之旅才有了最好的起点和更值得期待的未来。
Aw,
希望
man.
每一位旅行者都能在即将到来的7.0版本玩得开心。那我们8月12日至东见。
That was so sweet. All right. This recording has been going on for an hour and 22 minutes. So, that was a lot. Yeah. A lot of lore, a lot of speculations, all that fancy shit. Though I really can't wait to finally be able to explore Snezhnaya in like the next 2 weeks almost. So that's gonna be fun, and that's gonna be a blast. Sadly, I don't think I'll be able to stream my playthrough of Snezhnaya because my computer can hardly handle Genshin Impact anymore, and I think it's about time that I actually start investing into an actual personal computer rather than just like using a shitty like homebrew PC that I had for Christmas. But yeah, there isn't really much else to say other than, I'm excited for what the future will hold, and yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video.